The UmiDigi Z Pro is one of the first smartphones with a deca-core MediaTek Helio X27 chip. Has this unknown Chinese manufacturer got announced to launch a budget flagship phone under their new branding, or is it a lover also ran? It's Yi from Dove Computers. Let's find out. The UmiDigi Z Pro has a full metal unibody design. It feels reassuringly solid in the hand at 175 grams, but can be slippery at times. It's not going to win any design awards, as it's a lover iPhone-esque lookalike, with the power and volume rocker button on one side, the dual SIM slot on the other side. The top houses the 3.5mm headphone jack, and the bottom has a USB-C connector and the speaker. The home button on the front houses the fingerprint sensor. It's quick and reliable to use. The 5.5-inch sharp ISO display panel is bright and sharp. Excellent contrast and viewing angles. It's a full HD 1080p screen with a max of 500 nits brightness level. The screen is protected with Dragon Trail glass. At this price point you can't complain. Media consumption on the Z Pro is great and a pleasure to view on. The Z Pro houses one of the first MediaTek Helio X27 chips. The closest competition is the Snapdragon 820 in terms of performance, but with a slower graphics chip. In Geekbench 4 testing, the Z Pro is up with the best like the Xiaomi Mi 5S, OnePlus 3T and the Google Pixel. The X27 occasionally did get quite warm to the touch when taxed during heavy downloads and playing certain games. In layman terms, you can use any app, play any mobile game and watch Netflix with no issues. Let's take a look at some gameplay on the Z Pro. The UmiDigi Z Pro has dual Sony 13 megapixel cameras on the rear and a Samsung 13 megapixel front-facing camera. The rear cameras have quad LED flash with laser focusing. The front camera also has a soft light flash for perfect selfies. The dual cameras on the back consist of a color photo lens and a monochrome lens as originally found in the Huawei P9 released in 2016. In reality, the picture quality taken with the dual cameras is good with the right conditions, especially at this price point. There's no optical image stabilization, but the camera app has plenty of features like manual mode, bokeh effect, and the mono option can produce some arty black and white shots. One thing I did notice was a slight pause moving between camera options. Hopefully with a software update this will be optimized. In darker scenes the dual camera is okay to pull at best. There's more noise, grain and some pictures are out of focus. With video you can record up to 4K, but without optical image stabilization, video clips can become jerky and slightly out of focus in poorer lighting conditions. There is a completely stock version of Android 6.0 Marshmallow on the phone with the bare essentials. You have to get used to the virtual buttons that appear when you swipe up from the physical fingerprint button. Personally, I would have preferred to have them on the bottom row with the fingerprint sensor acting as the home button too. For me, the biggest letdown on this phone is the software. I found numerous bugs. For example, every time I downloaded a game from the Play Store, it wouldn't run until I restarted the phone, which is very annoying. Even with the latest software update and a factory reset, this still persists. After a couple of weeks using the camera app, the main photo option became pixelated and blocky for no reason. The only way to get around this was to turn off HDR, but then the picture became grainy. In the end, a factory reset resolved this issue, but it wasn't a great impression from my first UmiDigi product. At the time of releasing this video, we're still waiting on the Android 7 upgrade. Like a lot of typical budget smartphones, the UmiDigi Z Pro lacks NFC. If you're a fan of Android Pay, look elsewhere. On a brighter note, the Z Pro works with all the 4G bands in the UK, unlike other Chinese manufacturers like the Xiaomi Redmi Pro on my last review. Connectivity is also covered with dual band wireless N, Bluetooth 4.1 and the useful dual SIM slot. A microSD can replace one of the SIM slots to provide more storage space to complement the built-in 32GB. In 2017, it's no surprise to expect USB-C on the Z Pro for data transferring and charging. As mentioned earlier, a 3.5-inch headphone jack still exists. The Z Pro has a dedicated audio chip to provide good sound with clear mids and highs and sufficient bass. To make the most of this audio chip, you need to listen via your Audio-Technica headphones or Beats earbuds. The mono speaker is loud at high volume but poor and very disappointing. A heavy user on the Z Pro will easily find a day's worth of battery life before plugging in to juice up. There is a quick charging adapter in the box, but with no UK plug, it's been left there. However, I've found that with a smart charging hub, the Z Pro charged rapidly with no fuss. I had high hopes for the UmiDigi Z Pro when they first announced it. On paper, it ticked all the right boxes. Helio X27 deca-core processor, dual cameras and front-facing 13 megapixel sensor, rock-solid display, a big battery and a price under £200 or $255. In reality, the software and UI has let down the potential of the hardware. Scrolling and opening apps is laggy as hell. New games don't open without a reboot. The camera app pauses between options, to name a few issues. Hopefully this will be ironed out with the Nougat 7.1 update when it comes out of beta. Overall, it's a good value phone that desperately needs UmiDigi's software developers to optimize the UI experience. With a bit of software TLC, it could potentially make the Z Pro a very good budget smartphone. At the moment, it's sadly a mixed bag. What do you guys think? Leave your comments and discuss below. Hope you guys enjoyed the review of the UmiDigi Z Pro phone. Please click on the like button if you enjoyed this review video and subscribe if you would like to watch more of our tech videos. Thanks for watching. Cheers.